disco was once king. It was the height of everything. Everybody was doing disco. Everybody was enjoying themselves. Everybody was just, enjoying disco as it is. But then disco died. And other people tend to say, it's as dead as disco. They use that term. But many people know exactly how disco really died. Because it was like one year it was on top, and then like by the following year, it was just gone. And that was it. It was just disappeared. Just completely gone, and nobody was interested in disco anymore. Now the question has been asked, and one has to wonder, is woke the new disco? Is woke becoming as dead as disco? Well, according to the Amazon Studios founder, yes, woke is as dead as disco, and woke is the new disco. It's just destroying itself and going out. That's it. Because when you look at it, wokeness was once riding high, and now everybody wants to get as far away from it as possible. Literally. And he makes this statement comparing how wokeness is destroying entertainment to what recently happened in the presidential election. Let's get into this article here from Bounding into Comics. Amazon Studios founder criticizes Hollywood's turn to ideology over entertainment. Making customers the enemy of your industry is never viable. And that's the truth. That is the truth. These people act like the very people who they should be catering for, the very people who should be the core of what they do. They're the enemy. They verbally attack them online. They attack them in the entertainment that they do. They have their shills attack them. They tell them they tell everybody, we don't need you. We don't want you. We want our new audience that may or may not exist, but we're hoping that they show up sooner or later. That's what they do. They literally do these things, look you in the eye, and then act like, well, you're going to figure it out somehow, I guess, because I really have time to deal with all you today. So, good luck for all you and done. That's what's going on. It's really ridiculous, but that's what it is. In performing a personal postmortem on Kamala Harris's failed presidential campaign, well, when you decide the best thing to do is just spend your entire campaign calling the orange gentleman you're running against every bad name in the book and getting a bunch of celebrities to come and endorse you and act like that's going to connect with the people, because all these rich people really know how hard everybody else has it. What did you expect to happen? But I digress. Let's continue. Amazon Studios founder Roy Price has opined that the explanation for her recent loss is the same as the one behind Hollywood's ongoing cultural decline, namely that they both insist on catering to an ideological bubble while alienating vast swaths of the potential audience. Oh yeah. A veteran of the Hollywood production scene, Price previously served as the VP of Creative Affairs for Disney TV animation from 1993 to 2000, during which time he oversaw development of such hits as Recess. Yeah, Recess was good. Remember that video I did about that god-awful reboot they were thinking about doing? Because that's the kind of stuff they do now. Pepper Ann and Buzz Lightyear of Star Command. Now, had they taken the Buzz Lightyear of Star Command series and just turned that into an actual movie, that would have been fine. Instead, we got some crap they put together, and the only marketing for it was it have the first on-screen lesbian kiss. Come and see this movie and bring your children too. When that didn't work out, somebody who was affiliated with the show told everyone and said that, you know what? We were all just too stupid to understand it. That's the real problem there. We were all such a bunch of idiots, we couldn't possibly understand it. And the founder of both Amazon Video and Amazon Studios in 2008 and 2010 respectively. Unfortunately for Price, his time at Amazon ultimately came to an end in 2017. Listen to this. After company producer Isa Hackett accused him of making unwanted sexual advances towards her during a 2015 Man in the High Castle after party. Now, I don't know what happened, and I'm not going to speculate to say what not and the other day. All I can say is that there have never been any charges brought against him. That's all I can say on that matter. He's denied it, and there never been any charges or any concrete evidence whatsoever against the man. That's all I'm saying. But I will continue to read what they have here so you understand exactly what happened. As relayed by Hackett and recapped by the Hollywood Reporter's Kim Masters, in a cab, Hackett says Price repeatedly and insistently propositioned her, saying, "You will love my dick." He said, according to Hackett, who relayed her account to multiple individuals in the hours after the alleged episode. Hackett says she made clear to Price she was not interested and told him that she is a lesbian with a wife and children. Here we go. Just saying, here we go. But again, like I say, I'm not speculating on anything, people. I'm just telling you what was said here in the report. Hackett says Price did not relent in the cab or once they arrived at the Amazon party, and as she talked with other executives, she says that Price stepped close to her and loudly said anal sex in her ear. Okay. Look, Amber Bennett, before they made her good. God, you a bitch. But anyway, Price has long held that Masters' accusations were off base, explaining a 2023 post to his personal Price Point Substack blog. "I definitely never said you will love my dick or anything crude or aggressive like that. That is absurd. Everything said in the cab was at least intended to be in good humor," he wrote. Remember, another person and as of yet unidentified Amazon exec was sitting right there. He was interviewed by Amazon in their investigation, and I have personally asked him whether I said anything like that, and he said no. However, despite an apparent internal Amazon investigation into the incident conducted in 2015, determining that the incident merely warranted a verbal warning, Price was suspended in 2017 following after the Hollywood Reporter's article brought the situation to public attention. Shortly after, he resigned from the company, going on to found his own consulting firm, International Art Machine. Now, again, like I say, I wasn't there. I don't know what happened. But this was something that was very prevalent, was going on back in 2015, 2017, where people were getting, where it became very, very popular to cancel people. It was a thing that was up there. I'm not saying that's what happened in this instance. I'm just saying it was a very popular thing to do. We got rid of the man, brought in a bunch of activists to do their stuff, and we all saw what became of Amazon and the shit they were doing. I mean, just look at Lord of the Rings, Ranks of Power, and you will see. In light of his first-hand experience with Hollywood's activist leanings, Price took to his aforementioned Substack blog on November 13 to share his thoughts regarding the self-defeating similarities seen in both the entertainment industry and Harris's presidential campaign. Asserting to his readers, both Hollywood and Harris speak to an America that exists mainly in Hollywood's HR departments, Columbia's faculty lounge, and at CNN and MSNBC, and America is changing the channel on all that. That is very true. That is very true. To this end, Price argued that the main flaw exhibited by both entities was their underlying contempt for the audience, and that is a fact. I've said this many times before. You cannot make good material when you hate the people you're making it for. It doesn't work like that. If you actively dislike the people you're making something for, you're going to make crap. But here is the kicker. When they try to make it for the people who they actually want to make it for, they never show up. Look at the acolyte. Look at it. They made that show exactly for the type of people that they wanted, and none of them showed up. None of them watched it. All people want to complain about how the acolyte was canceled and it's racism and vitriol and all this nonsense over and over. The bottom line fact of it is, had you watched it, that entire argument would be a moot point, because then they would just show the show, everybody it would get another season, a third season, whatever. But none of you showed up because you don't watch anything, you don't like anything. All you want is an excuse to just spew your hatred and jump around happily saying, yeah, we got them this time. That's what you want. This is not about making anything good. It's not about doing anything good. It's just ridiculous. That's what it is. But I continue because he has more, because there's more to say here. Wokeness, both in politics and entertainment, carries within it a strong and explicit element of hostility, particularly toward white people and men. True. While this approach initially gained compliance through social pressure and corporate acquiescence a few years ago, such conditions were of course temporary. Such accommodations, were of course temporary. Amongst the people and in courtrooms, by 2024, wokeness has become toxic to a large part of the audience. It is an embarrassing, widely resented relic of the past, and the people need to see that acknowledged by candidates. Look at a clear example of it right here. Female Penguin. Because Bruce Timm said Batman don't have any good villains. Like, shut up, Bruce Timm, shut up. Batman is one of the largest and most complex rogues gallery ever, and you decided to race up gender swap Penguin. And they could say it here, and it's stated quite clearly, is that it have a hostility particularly towards white people and men. Because they are being told that, white men are the enemy, especially straight white men are the enemy. I remember I saw this thing, and I think it was on TikTok or something like that. I saw, somebody shared the video with me. Where this guy asked this asking these where he asked this white girl, would you date a black guy? She's like, yeah, I'd love to, yeah. Would you date a white guy? Oh God, no, I wouldn't do that at all. Yeah, not you don't like white guys. And she's like, no, I don't like them at all. I don't like them at all. She says, so that would make you a racist. And she's like, no, I'm not a racist. And he's like, well, if you don't like somebody because of their skin color, that makes you a racist. And she couldn't find an answer at all. But that is how deeply it has been ingrained in them. You see, when you send this message out there, especially via social media, and all these people who just lap it up, come out in how much they suddenly hate white people and all this kind of stuff. This is what goes on. And the thing about it is that, as they say here about how it has become toxic, these people drove it to that. There was always acceptance, always diversity, always equity, always inclusion across the board. But they weren't happy with that. They wanted it to be what they wanted it to be. And as far as they were concerned, we all needed to bow down and worship whatever they said we were supposed to do. So they went out and they told people, listen, woke is the way to go. Do that. And now it has reached the point everybody's sick and tired of it. You're pushing it on children, you're pushing it in entertainment, you're pushing it in politics, everything. It has become so toxic, nobody wants to touch it anymore. This is why everything woke fails. Everything. The term get woke, go broke is very clear. Look at Disney. Disney's losing billions of dollars because they insist they must be king of the woke. How is that working out for them? But yeah, like I'm saying, what he's saying is very, very true. Following a recap of how audiences at large had grown tired of neoliberal schools and their often over-the-top and pearl-clutching political rhetoric, Price then opined to succeed in art, you have to put art before politics. There are few exceptions. Why did Hollywood people embrace wokeness with such fervor? Yes. For most people, it is conformity. Hiring decisions are subjective in Hollywood, so there is always pressure to conform. In addition, at this point, some people believe that if not for wokeness, they would not have their jobs. They're probably right about that. And not probably, they're absolutely right about it. There are a lot of people who should never have jobs right now, but they have them because of wokeness. Like I've said this before, I'll say again. All these people that they keep going to hire, all these call them again, boy, these people who they hire in these companies, all these DEI jobs that they have, you have like the head of this DEI, head of that DEI. These are not actual jobs. These people don't do anything other than spread racism through your company and destroy it from within. That's all. That's all that they do. I remember again, I've come back and noticed when I saw this article, this guy was talking about how he was working at this company and they hired some DI person and some kind of stuff or whatever. Yeah, I can't remember the name what they call the position right now. I had somebody there. And they got some new employees came in, and there was this one employee who was there and thing, and he just was, he was just trying to be friendly and just talk to the person and now come to the company. So he asked he asked her, where are you from? And she went straight to the DI officer, and he ended up there. And they're going to tell him also, asking somebody where they're from is offensive because it could mean if you're asking them if they come from Africa. Like, he's like, what kind of crazy? I just wanted to know if she came from, like, I don't know, New York or Chicago or something like that. And you see, he got ridiculed for it, and it just kept getting worse and worse and worse till he eventually had to just leave the company. And then, like after then, like less than a year after he left, you understand me? They eventually had to fire the DEI person, and then like a couple months after that, the company went bankrupt and shut down. You keep hiring these people who only job is to create racial division so they could get power. You see the woman who used to work at Facebook, who literally her job was just to push that and then stole a bunch of money. Look at Black Lives Matter, a criminal organization. They weren't helping Black lives, they were pocketing money. That's what they were doing. But this is what happens when you follow this craziness. This is the result of it. Hollywood is having a difficult time, partly because, like Kamala Harris, it has been denying the reality of the audience. Yep. It has not been meeting customer expectations, mostly because it disdains them. If you don't like your customers, you can't do good work. It is time to focus on doing well, making great shows, hiring the best people, and responding to customers. Meeting customers where they are, giving the people what they want, because making customers the enemy of your industry is never viable. No, but as far as they are concerned, that's perfectly viable. This is why I always say, when you look at the comparison between manga writers and comic book writers, manga writers always love what they're doing. They talk to their customers, listen to feedback. They write because they have something that they want to write, that they actually care about. They want to tell this story. Then you look at comic book writers. The majority of them don't even like the characters that they're writing. They only want to attack the fans online and then tell them to go screw themselves, but you better buy our work first, and that's what you get. And it filters over into everything when it comes to movies, TV series, everything. Everything. You literally have people tell you that you can shut up and tell all of that. Like the Blue Beetle movie. What did the director do before it came out? Look to attack people and tell them, oh, you know what? Oh, you know what? Don't watch the movie if you don't like it. And then came back a little while after to beg you to watch, and the movie still bombed. People don't know what they're doing. They're being hired because of skin color, sexual orientation, whatever. And they just destroy everything because they want to watch it burn. And Hollywood is perfectly happy to let that happen. Drawing his thoughts to a close, the Hollywood veteran ultimately posed that Hollywood should make more fun movies and pursue excellence without restraint. That is what people would love to have happen. It should serve everyone and meet the culture where it is. The super woke may have to leave, or perhaps some can walk it back, but Hollywood could also start by confronting the original sin of this recent era by distinguishing between those excluded for legitimate reasons and those purged in a fervor moment of vindictive frenzy to capture power. Yeah, you got rid of a lot of people because you wanted to just push this agenda. You understand me? People getting this show and all of that because you wanted to do that. You give people like Harvey Weinstein's personal assistant to make a Star Wars series that was so bad, the very people that you make it for didn't even watch it. And the only thing that they have that they could say, oh, racism and sexism and all kind of thing. That's why you didn't watch it. But nobody was talking about the fact it was just terrible. It was a terrible series, a terrible concept. Everything about it was just terrible. But no, this is what you want to do. Make things that people actually enjoy. People just want to come home, relax, and lose themselves in the fantasy, in the amazement, in the wonder. That's all people want. People don't want your political crap everywhere. Nobody cares. Not everybody is gay or bisexual or pansexual or non-binary or whatever other made-up shit you want to call it. No. Stop pushing that onto people and children. They don't want that. But you don't care. You keep doing this and this is what's going on. So yeah, ultimately, is woke the new disco? Maybe it might very well be that way, but there are some who are going to fight to keep that going, and that's going to keep making it worse. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they will listen to what he has to say here, and maybe they will make a complete pivot back to something good. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. If you have a different opinion, I'd love to hear it. If you like the video, hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Ring the notification bell to be notified every time I put out a new video. And I shall see you all next time. Take care.